We're going to start language with a review of subjects and verb agreement. So remember, it's like a memory match game. Single subjects go with single verbs, right? That's how they fit. And plural subjects go with plural verbs. Remember, singular subjects. Usually, do they end in S or not in S? Singular subjects usually do not end in S, so a singular verb usually does end in S. Plural subjects usually end in S, like more than one, but a plural verb usually does not, and that's how they fit. Remember, if ever you get a prepositional phrase in the mix, get rid of that prepositional phrase and just match the subject to the verb agreement. Okay, and if you have more than one thing, like a compound subject joined by and, you always take the plural verb. So I'm going to read off some and you have to decide which one it is, okay? The sound of many voices was or were heard. Subject is sound and it is was. Sound was. Ready? Here's the next one. The study of many subjects and verbs are or is important. The study of subjects and verbs are or is important. The subject is study. Study is important. Okay, number 3. That wonderful collection of stories was or were sold yesterday. That wonderful collection of stories was sold yesterday. Collection is the subject, was is the verb. Remember, you can't just go by what sounds right. You have to go by what is the correct subject and verb agreement. A boy from each of the rooms goes to the office for the announcement. A boy from each of the rooms goes to the office for the announcements. I think I have coffee on my mind. It is a boy. Subject is boy, verb is goes. Boy goes. Number 5. The girl with the large bundle of books was or were close to the library. The girl with the large bundle of books was or were close to the library. Subject is girl, so girl is it was or were. Girl was. Number 6. The names of the document is or are not very clear. The names on the document is or are not very clear. Subject is names are not very clear. Number 7, visitors from a foreign country often speak English with an accent. Visitors from a foreign country often speak English with an accent. Well, the subject is visitors. Visitors speak. Number 8, that story about wild animals is or are my favorite. That story about wild animals is or are my favorite. That story about wild animals is my favorite. Number 9, the pupils in our class expect hard work. The pupils in our class expect hard work. And at last on this one, the homes across the road from us is or are almost completed. The homes across the road from us is or are almost completed. The homes are almost completed. How did you do on those? There were 10. Did you get at least half of them right? I hope you did. Think B. We're just doing this all orally, okay? Remember, here and there are never subjects, so you have to go looking at the other part. There is or are several girls on the committee. There are several girls on the committee. There is or are truth in what you say. There is truth in what you say. Here is or are the poem about Abraham Lincoln. Here is the poem about Abraham Lincoln. There was or were more desks here than in room 3. There were more desks here than in room 3. There was or were a bushel of apples under the trees. There was a bushel of apples under the trees. Here is or are an excellent book on wildflowers. Here is a book. There is or are many kinds of people in the world. There are many kinds of people in the world. There is or are some athletic boys in every school. There are athletic boys in every school. Here is or are a shady spot for a picnic. Here is a shady spot for our picnic. There is or are times when the bravest tremble. There are times when the bravest tremble. Well, I hope you did well on that. That's the agreement of subjects and verbs. Let's go over our lie and lay. Today I lie. I I am lying. Yesterday I lay. I have lain. Okay. Today I lay. Yesterday I lay. Sorry, today I messed myself up. Today I lay. I am laying. Yesterday I laid, and I have laid. Now, of those, which one always has to have an object with it? Yes. Laid, L-A-I-D, and L-A-Y has to have an object with it. Right. And which one means to put or place something? L-A-Y and L-A-I-D-S, laid and laid. Which one means to rest or recline? L-I-E, lie. And remember, lain, L-A-I-N, the N can remind us about a nap. Okay, so listen to this and repeat. Now he lies on the couch. Now he is lying on the couch. Yesterday he lay on the couch. Often he has lain on the couch. Now I lay my pencil down. Now I am laying my pencil down. Yesterday I laid my pencil down. Often I have laid my pencil down. If you have laid, L-A-I-D, you have to have an object of what you're putting down. Remember, sit and set. Sit means to rest or be seated. Sit, today I sit. I am sitting. Yesterday I sat. I have sat. Today, so we're going to talk about the next one. Set is to put or place something, and so you have to have an object. Today I set. I am setting. Yesterday I set. I have set. You have to have an object for those. You have to have the object for set and for lay, because those are both have the same definition, and you can even substitute the meaning with the word put. I'm so sorry. I just had like a little mini brain fart. Okay, we're on page 241. Page 241, and we're going to number, I believe it is 10 or 11. Let me see. Where did we leave off yesterday? We left off on... we left off on, we finished 10, so we're going to 11. I'm so sorry. Okay, 11. When I went into the bedroom to blank down, I blanked my hat on the shelf. Well, you went to the bed to rest, so that is lie. When I went into the bedroom to lie down, I blank my hat. We're putting something. It's laid. L-A-I-D. Are you getting it? Are ya? Sorry. I'll stop bothering you. Number 12. Who blanked the book on the table? We have an object. Titus's book. Who laid the book on the table? And this is laid, L-A-I-D, because you're putting something there. Okay, number 13. Tom asked if he could... What is Tom doing? Tom is resting. He wants a nap. Give Tom a nap. Don't put him, okay? Don't put him. So, Tom is lying down, L-I-E. Number 14. Jordan has blanked the bicycle on the ground. Well, Jordan might want a nap, but that's not what he's doing. He's putting something down. He's putting a bicycle down. So it is laid, L-A-I-D, laid. 15. Why don't you blank down for an hour? What are they asking you to do? They're asking you to lie. They're asking you to rest or recline. L-I-E. Number 16. How long has he blank there? Now, is he putting or placing, or is he resting? He's resting, so it is lain, L-A-I-N, lain, like the nap. Number 17. I was surprised to see him blank on the floor. He's either lying or laying. Is he putting or is he resting? Don't you dare say laying. He was lying. Lying. Which sounds funny, right? Because you're like, wow, there's a bunch of liars in here. But this lying just means resting. They're not sinning. Number 18. To the left of us lie or okay, I messed up. I'll just tell you the answer. To the left of us lies or lay a beautiful farm. It could be either one, would make sense, but I would say to the left of us lay a beautiful farm. And all that they're saying is the farm is just resting there. I know that sounds weird, but it's L-A-Y, lay. The book, blank in the grass all night. The book reclined. Yeah, the book rested in the grass. That's what the book was doing. It didn't put anything. But it did it already because it said it happened last night, so it is lay, L-A-Y. Lay as in the past tense of lie. Does that make sense? Lie, I'm lying, lay, have lain. That's the one it is. Number 20. The books were blank where we had blank them. The books are they putting there or are they resting there? They're resting. So it is, the books were lying, Lying, where we had blank them. You put them, which is laid, Laid. Number 21. When I had blank my sewing away, I blanked down to take a nap. Now they have had, so it's either had lain or had laid. Which one is it? Now, are you laying down and taking a nap, lying down and taking a nap, or are you putting something away? You're putting something away, so it's laid, Laid. When I had laid my sewing away, I lay down to take a nap, Lay. Now, please don't say you laid it down, and I know we get used to saying that all the time, but it's incorrect English. If you say you laid it down, Laid, you're saying you put down. That's not how you go to bed. Okay, the number 22. The poor old man was sitting on a log, and near him, blank, a hungry dog. Well, the hungry dog is probably just sitting there resting, right? But it is the past of lie, which is lay, Lay. That was pretty tricky. I hope you did well. We are on page 242, think A. Write C at the blank if the sentence is correct and I if it is incorrect. Are you ready? I know, I'm going to get some of you going, that's creepy. That's creepy. I don't like it. Well, you know what? Too bad. All right, think A. We sat in our new car for hours. Correct or incorrect? Show me a C or I with your hand. It's correct. You can sit. Number 2. The fly laid on top of the water until a big fish swallowed it. The fly laid on top of the water. Remember, another word for laid is put. Can you say the fly put on top of the water? No, it is incorrect. Number 3. The old soldier was sitting in a rocking chair on his front porch. Correct or incorrect? Show me. It's incorrect because soldiers don't sit, they sit. Number 4, his hound dog lay at the side of the chair. His hound dog lay at the side of the chair. Well, first of all, the dog is resting, and it's not saying he's doing it right now. He's actually has been doing it, so it is correct. Number 5, the jeweler set the watch gently in a velvet case. The jeweler set the watch. Because they're setting a watch. Number 6, James has laid down to sleep. Incorrect. You can't put down, Laid. You're not putting down to sleep. Number 7, the toys in his room have laid undisturbed for years. Are your toys putting undisturbed for years? The toys in his room have put undisturbed for years. No, it would be lain undisturbed for years. And I know it doesn't sound like what you're used to, but it's correct if you do have lain. But this is incorrect, this sentence. Number 8, she should lie down for a nap. She should lie down. We're saying she should rest. Correct. Number 9, can you sit still for a minute? It's can you sit still. Number 10, the turtle lay at the bottom of the tank until feeding time. The turtle lay. Yes, correct. Number 11, set your camera on the shelf. It may get knocked off on the table. Set your camera on this shelf. It may get knocked off the table. Correct. You may sit down now, Dalton. Correct. Okay. Now it says on notebook paper, rewrite each incorrect sentence of think A using the right verb this time. So we're not going to do that, but I'm going to read them to you correctly, okay? So go back to number 2. It should say the fly lay on top of the water until a big fish swallowed it, because the fly is resting. Number 3, because that was incorrect, it's the old soldier was sitting in a rocking chair on his front porch. Number 6, James has lain down to sleep. Number 7, the toys in his room have lain undisturbed for years. Number 9, can you sit still for a minute? All right, that's it for those. Now think C, underline the correct verb in parentheses. What I want you to do is pause this for think C, and when you finish, then press play, okay? This will just show you how much you know these. Okay, hopefully you paused your video and now you're playing it again. We're on think C, and I'm going to read them. Usually the women lay their wash out on the riverbank to dry because they're putting their wash out, yes. Number 2, what book is that lying on the table? The book is not putting, it's resting, lying. Number 3, I laid or lay down to sleep. It's I lay down to sleep. Otherwise, it would be I put down to sleep. Not make sense. Number 4, she had just lain down when I called because she's napping. Number 5, she has set the jar down. She's putting it down. She is sitting by the window. The vase sits on the table. You said, no, but the vase is just putting or placing. No, the vase is actually resting on the table. But it's not putting or placing anything. Number 8, the dog sat by his master. Number 9, do you care to lie down? Because we're saying, do you want to rest? Number 11, she has sat up until very late. Has sat. Okay, let's go to page 243 now. Underline the correct verbs in this story. The rocket sat or set on the launch pad. A rocket is sitting, so it's sat. The rocket sat on the launch pad, pointing its steel finger to the place it would soon visit, the moon. Ta-da! As the sun rose slowly and launch time approached, men began appearing everywhere, all working busily. The men at the control panels sat or set down their cups of coffee. Unfortunately, they set them down. Yeah, they set them down and watched the screens and the dials of the computers carefully. The computer seemed like a live animal. Is it resting or putting? It's resting, so it's lying there, getting ready for the moment. Men who had been resting or putting? Resting, so it's lying. Men who had been lying in bed, sleeping not long ago, were now preparing to travel through space. The astronauts, all suited up in their spacesuits, sat or sat down in the van. They sat in the van and lay or laid their equipment down. They laid equipment down because they're putting it down by their weighted boots. The van drove the men to the launch pad where clouds of vapor from the rocket engines lay or laid close to the ground. The clouds are just resting there. It's lay, L-A-Y. The ground crew watched as a small elevator took the astronauts to the top of the rocket. The crewmen sat or sat. They sat in their chairs, and the astronauts lay or laid on their backs. The astronauts are resting, so it's L-A-Y. There was a brief moment of silence, then bright flames belched out of the rocket. That's a weird word picture. And the whole earth shook and rumbled. The rocket, burning more brightly than then a million lights rose majestically from the launch pad and sent its 3 passengers toward their destination 240,000 miles away. Okay, well that's it for today's language lesson. And so I hope that you now know the difference between lie and lay. Lie, lying, lay, have lain. Lay, laying, laid, have laid. And sit and set. Sit, sitting, sitting, set, have sat. Set, setting, set, have set. And I hope you know those and also the forms that go with them. All right, have a great rest of your day.